In June, the owner of a South Carolina environmental consulting firm pled guilty to making a false statement in a Clean Air Act document after falsifying asbestos test results. He was fined $25,000 and sentenced to 3 years of probation and 100 hours of community service. So what happened? In 2018, demo work began after the firm, Rogers Environmental, reported that there was no asbestos-containing materials in the samples of the Anderson University building that were tested. A subcontractor suspected asbestos in bathroom floor tiles that contained black mastic under the top layer, about a month into the job. Further testing by Rogers revealed no asbestos. But the subcontractor was suspicious of the results and got his own samples tested. They were positive for asbestos. After testing the whole site, 29 positive samples were found. So why lie? Well, liability and cost, probably. Now, I don't know any more details about the case, but as I sit here asking myself, why would this guy lie? Why would he say that these results were clean? I got an idea, and I think that he was probably cut from the same cloth of the asbestos doctors back in the 1930s that were working for the asbestos companies. They were putting out what the people wanted to buy. Why would an asbestos testing firm say that a sample is not chock full of asbestos? Because the guy paying for the test wants to get the all clear to go ahead and do demolition at the site. See, asbestos abatement work is really expensive to get done properly. You have to have special certifications, and it's not cheap. If you're a building owner and you're trying to do a remodel, and now you have to find out you've got to put 6 figures into asbestos abatement, you're not going to like that. So maybe you hear about there's an asbestos company, a testing company, that'll give you the results you're looking for. Just like some people know a guy who runs a smog checker that'll pass any car. That's why people lie about this sort of a thing. And there's serious legal liability for doing so under the Clean Air Act and other state laws. There's also fraud that you can sue if you turn out a test result that is false. But in this case, and I'm just guessing, but in this case, I bet that the guy paying for the test was actually pretty happy to get the positive, or rather the fake negative test results. And I bet that suspicious subcontractor who knew about the mastic, this is probably a guy who understood this stuff is used. This black mastic had asbestos. There's no way it didn't. And he sees this test result come back saying all clean, and he could smell a rat. So I'm glad that this subcontractor was able to figure this out, because with proper abatement, they're making sure that nobody else gets sick. And the really sad part is, if somebody is going to get sick from this, it won't be for 20 or 30 or 40 years later. That's how long it takes for this stuff to make you sick. So this asbestos testing guy, he just figured, hey, what's going to go wrong? If I'm wrong on this anyway, it'll be 20 or 30 years before I get caught. And that is the exact same mentality that the asbestos companies had 100 years ago. The problem's going to happen so far down the road, it's not my problem. Well, unfortunately, those problems become all of our problems because we're all exposed to asbestos when people do negligent things like that. So I'm glad this subcontractor was there, and we have at least a story where the guy had to pay $25,000 in fines and do some probation. I personally would have probably wanted to see him a little jail time. I'm a little biased on that.